off with saying that I posted a couple of lives early this morning. I woke up at 2:30 for some reason, and I posted a couple of lives in regards to some things, but then I privated them. And the reason I privated them is because just, the energy was so negative, and some of the things that were said was just like, it included me visiting someone's live stream and something really weird happened. But anyhow, and I may unprivate them after a while, but because of the way society is right now, and I'm very open, but I don't know where everything is going. But this dream that I had was really weird, even to the point of after I woke up. So I'm just going to say this. I'm going to continue to say it. Be careful, be cautious. There are things going on in this world that, are not necessarily physical in nature. They're spiritual. And I must say that. So I had this dream. In the dream, me and my sister were in what was the Riverdale Shopping Center in Hampton Coliseum. We were shopping. It's in these times, though, and we were in this big store that was kind of like a Big Lots or a huge store with a whole bunch of different stuff, but it was a lower scale of that because it looked like what the inside of a thrift store was, but it had everything. And my sister was looking at this old bathtub, and she happened to see like some kind of apparition on it. So she started inspecting it. I didn't think nothing of it. I think she's going to inspect it a little bit and keep going. But no, she actually got in there, and after a while I wasn't paying attention. I realized we've been standing there for a long time. She done got into the tub and started scraping under some kind of like the like a crevice. And I was like, Angie, what are you doing? But when I looked at my sister, it was no longer really her. It was like a really skinny Gant version of who was her, and just in a hoodie and just scraping, just like frantically. I'm like, what is going on? And then I'm just like, let me get away from here because people are going to be wondering what you are doing. So I started to leave, and then we were at this pizza place, like kind of like Cece's or Little Caesar, or a combination of the two, coming out the front. And it was like we just finished eating, and then somehow I ended up being by myself, and I was leaving the place. And as I was leaving, there was a white couple with a little white boy behind me, and the little boy kept patting me on my behind, and I was just like, stop, and so I was covering my behind, and the parents wasn't grabbing nothing, so I just took off running, right? So when I took off running, the kid took off running behind me, okay? And he was right on me, like still touching me. And so then, just like that dream I told you when I was little, when I was like 8, and that gargoyle was pulling me back, and draining my energy, this kid, okay, I was running from him, but he had this arm around me, and I was like, okay, it slowed me down. And then I was like, okay, let me stop, because the parents, got to come get this kid. But as he had his arm around me, he had his hand right where my hip bone, kind of where my hip bone and my stomach meet. And I could feel like all the energy being drained from me, right? The energy was being drained, and I could hardly move, just like in that dream, right? And then it was like I was starting to wake up, and I see like my phone in front, because I was just like, let me record this moment, because people record how white people doing crazy stuff to you. So I was trying to record, and then I woke up. Then when I woke up, I heard like doors slamming or whatever, and I'm thinking, okay, it's just the neighbor's kids going out. But then I kept hearing it reportedly, so I was just like, it has to be something going on over here. So at that point, I look out the window, and my spirit was just like, that it's a demon trying to get your attention. Because when I say that, meaning, these negative things, remember I kept saying how whenever they do something, at this point I need to put it in writing and address it, but I really don't have time, But so I look at the window, and there's a dog standing in the middle of my yard, and it's dark outside right now, you guys. So I tap on the window to make him go away. I turn on my porch light, and I go out. By the time I go out, the kids had, I guess, got him back over to the other side. You guys, like, that dream was crazy. And like I said, that child was draining me. Now, right before that happened, after I made my live streams on YouTube, I went and got back on Kick, because I was just like, I have to learn, even though that was a weird experience that I had in that other person's live stream, and I may undo it. you guys, like, so there was a bunch of random people that came in, usually not a whole lot going on. I'm like, okay, fine. And I always look because for whatever reason, some of those people creep me out. And it's been like that for a while, like just, and somebody else mentioned to another black people mentioned, my person mentioned the same thing. And so if their profiles were inappropriate or whatever, I'll remove them. And there was one person that said their name was Demon, but I'm like, okay, whatever, because I had mentioned a little thing about being nice, and he was like, well, I'm a whatever, whatever. I don't like being nice. I like cosplay. I was like, well, do whatever you do. Then eventually I ended up just removing him. And then there was this person called Moises, right? They came into this is so weird, you guys. They came into the live stream. And, I go and look at everybody's profile, and I was like, he had this dazed look in his eyes. And I was like, I get that look in my eyes sometimes, blank stare, and it looks psycho. So I get it. You're probably not look like a serial killer. And I said, yours don't look like a serial. I was making comments on it. Yours doesn't look like a serial killer. Yeah, you just look like you're, dazed. And then he started talking. And I was like, well, what type of work you do? He was like, I don't do any type of work. I'm still in school. And I was like, well, what are you, you're still in school. And I was like, what? And I was just like, and he was like, I'm in high school. I was like, what? And I was just shocked because I was making comments about his picture, how he looked like Dave's serial killer. And I wouldn't say that to anybody that, I thought was not an adult. So I went to go look at his profile, and I was like, it doesn't have an age on it, And so I was just like, well, how are you like in high school? Are you, is there a reason you're not working in school? I know when I was in school, I worked, did your parents tell you not to work? And, I went into that whole thing. And he didn't mention as to why he wasn't working. And then it turned out he had autism or something like that is what he said. And he was diagnosed as a baby. But just a whole weird thing, like that person, even though they're in high school, they're still literally a child and they're graduating this year. And then in my dream, I had a dream about me walking out of the dream about my sister acting real weird. But in real life, like I said, the last time I saw my sister, it was weird too. But she's always had some, it's not her, but she's always had like these weird things where she would, I don't even want to talk about it because I'm not trying to manifest it. But yeah, the dream was weird. And then I wake up and the dog is out here. So maybe, if I try to look at it from rationalizing it, maybe the dog was out here making that noise. That maybe that's what made me have that dream. And maybe, I don't know, but it was weird. That dream is what happened. Is all I can say. It was weird. The dream vlogs, I don't private because those are dreams. And normally I don't private anything, but I privated those lives from earlier because, like I said, I don't know what's going on. It's really weird stuff. And if it's not a dream, I'm not gonna, I made private, but it's really weird. But again, be careful, you guys. Be really careful. Everything is not always what it seems. I'll just say that. Be careful. Be careful if people are, overly excited about something, because those things could be to divert your attention from something else. One thing I want to say, and I'm going to keep this, do not label yourself as anything. Just be you. Don't take on anything that goes with the label, because there are no absolutes, and a lot of times people do hide behind labels, and you don't want to do that. You want to be authentically who you are. But anyhow, I'm out. That was my dream.